Hello, we are in conversation with Mr. Srithar. Welcome to India. Congratulations for the launch. How's been the year 2017 for you?
2017 has been a good year
Okay.
for Indian travelers into Singapore. We've got the statistics up to October 2017. So
Okay.
up to October 2017, Singapore has welcomed 1.1 million visitors from India into
Wow.
Singapore,
Okay.
which is a 17% growth, which
Sure.
makes India the largest growth market for Singapore in terms of visitor arrivals up to October 2017. And importantly, India now moves into the third largest visitor arrival source market for Singapore
Okay.
after China, Indonesia, ahead of Malaysia.
Sure.
So
Wow.
far up to October 2017, it has been good.
Okay. And what are your plans for 2018?
I think 2018, Sonia, we are looking at how we can promote Singapore even more effectively.
Sure.
So we have themed our promotions for 2018 under the theme of With Passion, Forging New Possibilities.
Right.
And the idea is three thrusts. First
Okay.
thrust is how could we deepen and expand our partnerships.
Sure.
So it's about deepening our partnerships with our existing travel trade partners, airlines and travel agent partners, but also expanding our partnerships to tier 2 and tier 3 city partners.
Okay.
The second thrust is how can we effectively promote
Sure.
our new brand, our new unified brand, Passion Made Possible.
Right.
So it is how do we work with various partners to promote the new brand, bring that brand to the consumers and getting them to come and visit Singapore.
Okay.
And the final thrust is how we can connect and entice 5 different travel segments to come to Singapore.
Sure.
So one is families with children,
Absolutely.
2 early careers and established careers,
Sure.
3 cruise travelers, 4 incentive travelers,
Okay.
because that's a huge growing market for incentive movements out of India to different parts of the world, and we're hoping that Singapore will be an important incentive market. And finally, the tier 2 and tier 3 city travelers, we would like to connect with them. So that's generally how I'm seeing 2018 and how we'll be busy with 2018.
So how do you intend to do all of this?
So I think a lot of the work that we need to do is going to be through partners, travel agents, airlines, media partners
Right.
like yourself. We are also looking at how whether we can do some non-travel trade partnerships,
Okay.
partners who have got maybe a wide reach into the Indian segment,
Sure.
Indian consumer segments. So that's how we want to do that, and probably there'll be a lot more engagement. So for example, the road shows that we are now currently having in here in
Yes.
Mumbai, and then in Jaipur before they move on to Delhi for Satay. We've got about close to about 35 different stakeholders from Singapore coming to engage with the local trade. I think that's an important part, where the Singapore stakeholders get to connect
Okay.
with the Indian local travel trade partners.
Okay. What are the new attractions in Singapore?
Some of the new attractions, for example, come July 2018, in the Singapore Zoo, you will have Illumina, which is going to be an evening post afternoon night experience, right, with lights, and that'll be quite fascinating for families. Light and sound show.
Sure.
Another example is in Sentosa, you've got AJ Hackett, which is
Okay.
now the first bungee jump facility within Singapore for youngsters,
Okay.
or the young at
Right,
heart, not just
right.
youngsters, young
Yeah,
at heart.
Sure.
So which is a 50-meter bungee jump experience.
Okay.
And there are some other new properties, hotels are opening up, some new experiences. Tours are now picking up very well.
Okay.
I think the Indian travel segment is also starting to look at immersive holidays,
Sure.
and we feel some of the tours, we now offer about close to 50 odd tours in different parts of Singapore,
Okay.
and I think that will be another interesting holiday option for the travelers.
Any promotional schemes? For
We
MICE?
will, yeah, for MICE.
Yes.
So for the incentive travel segment, we've got a couple of schemes that's going on. So we have got in Singapore incentive and rewards, which is
Okay.
in short Inspire,
Okay.
which is for group size of about 50 to 200 packs incentive movement to Singapore.
Sure.
Then we also have the business events in Singapore scheme, which is for bigger groups.
Okay.
So those incentive schemes allow corporates to bring their incentive movements to Singapore and have some of their costs or new experiences thrown into their itineraries.
Great. Your final word for our viewers,
Um,
travel
Okay.
lovers. Yeah.
Singapore continues to be a very, very engaging and exciting destination for the Indian travelers. I think one thing that the Indian travelers have found very fascinating is how Singapore continues to have very different experiences, and we are able to give a concentration of experiences.
Sure.
And now with the Passion Made Possible brand, you will also have an opportunity to engage Singapore through the voices of Singaporeans. That means you see Singapore in a different light,
Sure.
right? So whether it's a family coming in and having a holiday in the parks, the beaches, or the attractions,
Sure.
you will get to see different sides of Singapore. So whichever travel segment, I would like to say to the Indian traveller, Singapore
Yes.
continues to have a very healthy relationship with the travellers,
Sure.
and we invite more and more travellers to come to Singapore.
All right. Thank you so much, Lovely chatting with you.
Thank you,
Thank
Zamina.
you.